Hi guys, and welcome to my video. In this video, I want to cover the topic of the toolbox in Roblox Studio. So the toolbox is a very important component that Roblox allows you to use, which in essence is a collection of, parts and models and audio and many different things that you can utilize and put into your game. So to start with the toolbox, you'll see this button here on the top. It is called Toolbox, right next to Part, right next to Editor, right? Toolbox, select it. This opens up the toolbox. And this is the main screen. This is what you see first. It's called the Marketplace. Essentially, it's a collection of models which are generally free, okay, that are available for developers to use freely. Okay, so you can use these. It's a pretty large collection of free models. So you'll notice in the marketplace there are some sections. Okay, up here we have categories. Let's take a quick look. All right, we have vehicles, structures, lights, technology, weapons, landscapes, which is really cool, furniture, ads, dev modules, and materials. So a bunch of free stuff available to you. I mean, if you selected vehicles, for example, you'll see cars, boats, planes, helicopters, tanks. It's really cool. And with many of these categories, you can scroll down on and on and on and on, and you might not find the end even if you really tried. And an important thing to notice is with the toolbox, this window, you can increase it and see that you can see more models at any given time. Let me do that again. Okay, so if you need to look for more models a little bit faster, you can increase the size of this window. As with any of the windows here, you got the Explorer. You can modify essentially anything to help tailor your developing experience. So for example, let's go ahead and pull out a tank, okay? The Panzer tank. All right, let's pull it out. Okay, we select it and there it is in all of its glory. All right, so we'll notice that in the Explorer we have propagated a model. That's what this is called overall in the Explorer. That's what Roblox Studio identifies it as a model. Of course, you can rename it, okay, and so you can more easily identify it. But what's really important about using free models is to understand the risks and the benefits associated with using them. For example, this model could have potentially malicious scripts or parts that are designed to make your game break or have sensitive data compromised. So what you need to do with every single free model you choose to use, no matter what it is, okay, is look at what the model is made up of. So in this case, it's just comprised of a few mesh parts, and I'll just delete them. You can see these are the components. All right, and it's only meshes and a thumbnail camera. And you'll notice there are no scripts. There's nothing hidden. There's no, ridiculously duplicated parts. That might go on and on. So you'll notice it's very clean. And once you have looked at your model and determined that it's safe and it's good for the game, you can go ahead and utilize it. It's yours. It's free. Another important thing, which is very useful, is considering modifying the models that you use. So some people might say, hey, that's a free model that you used, and yes, true. People sometimes do ridicule you about that, or they might want to judge you for that. But ultimately, that doesn't really matter. But what you could do to make these your own is customize them. So get the parts and change the colors, change the materials, remove decals, put your own brand on it, whatever it is, add to it, build to it, break it down, take half of it apart, whatever it is you want to do, okay, do it. Make it yours. And there are so many models that I even use that are so heavily modified. They came from they were free, right? But I modified them so much that it's not recognizable as a free model. Okay, that's another important thing to consider. So let's go back to the marketplace here. Let's go back to the main menu here, and you'll notice you have so these are the categories. Okay, each one has almost never-ending assortment of things you can choose from. We have trending, so this can tell you, okay, these are models that are hot right now. These are models that people really enjoy. I can identify this. This is obviously very popular among us. I mean, that goes without saying, right? These are things that are trending, and sometimes incorporating these things can be a wise choice to kind of bring elements into your game that are relatable and people identify and like. Let's go ahead and continue here. These are called essentials, so it's just an almost never-ending list of things that Roblox considers to be essentials or important, or things that you can utilize like a spawn point. Those are kind of important. You got skyboxes. You've got, well, I guess a diamond sword is critical. Um, that leads me to a very important thing that you should consider when searching for models. Is when you hover over them, you get some information. So this is the name of the model, Sitting Girl, and this is the name of the developer, Rainbow Galaxy 00 developed this. Okay, and you can see the positive rating at 81%. So that tells you, well, it's a pretty good model. 81% of people give it a positive vote. And if you click on the, let's go back, if you click on this magnifying glass, you'll notice that you get more information. You can see the link, you can see more data, that the date it was created, and all these things, if you so choose. And you can also report it or give it a thumbs up or a thumbs down, right? So you have, it's important to look at these things. If you notice a model that has, oh, I don't know, a very poor rating, okay, let's see, this is a yellow rating of 65%. That might be an indicator that there's something that's not really good about the model, perhaps malicious, perhaps unnecessary, or breaks the game. So again, I heavily caution that you do your research, look at the ratings, make sure that's good, and also, again, be sure to break apart every single model that you put in here, because there could be something hidden, there could be something that's completely unnecessary. It's really important to check those free models. It's critical. It might save your game, okay? All right, so another thing, real quick. All right, for example, you notice that down here, this particular model says that it has scripts, okay? Let's hover over this one. This one does not. So you come here, place the Christmas tree, right? You'll notice it has a lot of models, which kind of is a red flag for very many people, because more models means more strain on the computers, on the server, that you have to consider. If you put 1,000,000 of these into your game, it may dramatically slow it down. So you have to consider that when adding a model. What's in it? Does it take a lot of storage, right? But let's see. On the contrary, or on another note, rather, this car says it has scripts, okay? So that means when I put this model into the game, you'll notice how many parts it has, right? A lot of parts. That's something to consider. Somewhere in this car, there will be some scripts. So there is already a script right here. Let's see, paint, blah, 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 plate, surface GUI. There's a lot going on here. There is a lot. Oh, here we go, scripts. Okay, look at all these scripts, all right? There's a lot going on here, and you should consider that. Okay, again, just a warning, some of the scripts are actually designed to wreak havoc on your game. So please, please take the time to do your research, read the scripts, know what you're getting yourself into. And I understand that not everyone might be able to identify something wrong with a model or something malicious, but I still advise you to try and do your research, learn about scripts, because that's something you should do as a developer anyways. So this model, you can see, has a lot of parts, a lot of scripts. Each one is going to weigh down your game, okay, as opposed to Maxwell the cat, okay? The amount of processing power that these cars generate in your game is huge, okay, that they require. They require a lot of processing power, as opposed to these Maxwell cats, right? It's just a mesh, very simple. You can have tons of these, and they might not even come close to the amount of power that these cars require your computer to use. Okay, that's something to consider when adding these models. But I'll go more into that in a future video. Now, back to the toolbox. Okay, you have these 4 tabs. I went over the marketplace fairly thoroughly. Okay, you've got these different things, lots of things to choose from. Again, be careful. Here you have your inventory. These are things that you own. These are things that maybe you have purchased or you have found, or whatever the case may be, they are associated with your account. Okay, this is my inventory. These are models that I have. Let's see, it's very self-explanatory. We have these different things. So these are the models. You have plugins, audio, go down to, audio, I guess. These are my songs, that I've added into my game. So it's pretty straightforward. Same goes with the marketplace. If you're looking for plugins, enter in plugins. Okay, you're looking for images. Okay, and then of course you can search for what you want. You can search for plugins. Those are useful, and I'll go more into that later in a different video. This tab is recent, so it kind of is self-explanatory. I recently used the car, I recently used the tree, Maxwell. So these are things that are available to me that I can quickly bring back up, right? Like that tank, bam. All right, go to my recent, I can conjure that back up, right? Okay, self-explanatory. Here we have our creations. So I haven't created any models as of yet, so they don't appear. But again, under the audio, I technically created these by adding these into my game, some of which I actually produced. So as you develop more creations, you can either choose to add them into this free model ecosystem or just have them available to your own self for your own purposes. So that was a basic rundown of the marketplace, of the inventory, recent creations. That these are all part of the toolbox. Okay, just remember the key word here is the toolbox. When you think about models, things that you've done, audio files, all that, toolbox, toolbox, toolbox. You need a tree, toolbox. You need, you need a flamingo, right? Toolbox. Okay, it's right here. You can search for a long time. Some of these have so many models that you can just spend hours and hours and hours playing with these things and piecing them apart and making your world so personal and unique and truly yours. And I kind of want to sum things up there. I want to thank you for watching, and I want to ask if you would please subscribe. That would really help me out. I really want to hear from you guys. So if you feel free to comment, feel free to maybe share some of your creations. I'm active on Roblox. Let's see, and like it if you found it informative. I hope you have a great day, and I hope that you gain something from this, and I'd love to see you put it into practice. All right, bye-bye.